So what about if I told you you could actually get paid to then own property? So I'm going to get paid 135k in my first year, which is these cash monies here. So what's the main reason that people don't invest in property or like think that they can do it? I tell you, one of the things is because they have a job and they don't think they have any time. The other thing is they don't think they have any money. And the other thing is they don't think they're going to make any money. So what about if I told you you could actually get paid to then own property? Because ultimately what I think people want to do is they want to own property, build a legacy, pass it to their children, have a passive income, have some kind of financial security. I think they are the reasons. If you agree, hit the comments there with what your opinion is, and also subscribe to this channel, give some likes because it really helps as well. Because I'm about to show you now the formula of how you can get paid to own a property that's then going to continue to pay you. Because really what people are looking to do is they want to own some assets. Yeah, so this is the asset. So this particular deal which I did before, yeah, this was purchased at 95,000. Yeah, so 95,000 was the cost to buy this property, and then I spent about 79 on it. Yeah, so what is that together? So let's put all that together. It is 174. Yeah, so 174,000 in. Now, people are like, oh yeah, but I don't have that money. You know, first of all, I borrowed 75% of the purchase price from the bank, and then the rest of the deposit and the money to do all the conversion, I borrowed it from someone else. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Yeah, but what I did here, I turned this into a multi-unit dwelling, and the rent was about 3,000. Now, what I then did was because it's now worth more, because I spent 79 creating a different property with 6 units in it now, I got a new mortgage. Yeah, that new mortgage cost me about £1,000 a month. Yeah, so £1,000 plus 600 for all of the bills. Yeah, so right now we got the costs of 1,600. Now, if I take the cost of 1,600 away from that, that leaves me a cash flow. So the cash flow equaling 1,400. Yeah, that is 16,800 a year. Now, I know the average wage is about, you know, depending on how old you are, what industry you're in, is somewhere around like 22,000 up to 33,000 pounds. So already I got half of that just from this property. But like, but Mark, you told me you're going to tell me how to get paid to own this. Yeah, so right now, this is the cash flow and the ongoing cash flow that we will have from now owning this property. But because it's now worth more, I actually go back to the bank, because I initially went to the bank and borrowed 95. I go back to the bank and say, hey, look, this is now new based on this rent and all the rest of it. And actually the bank now value it at 350k. So what I do is I take a new mortgage out, and they'll pay me around £262,000. So then what I'm going to do is, now they pay me this, I'm going to take away the 74, which is what I put into it initially, which was this amount and this amount put together, and I will be left with £88,000. So I just got paid £88,000 to now own a property that's going to give me 16,800. Yeah, let me give you another example, because some people are like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm into different strategies or different locations, or where might these strategies work? Yeah, so another one here is a small terrace house, really run down, and it was actually up through an auction, 15,000. Now, to spend 20,000 doing this up was absolutely more than enough, and we were able to put some beautiful luxuries in there as well. So what does this add up to? This adds up to, you know, 35. You know, for some of the people are like, oh wow, 174k borrowing that much money. So 35 might be a little bit more palatable for you, or whatever that word is. Yeah, so what we're going to do here, the rent here is £600 a month. I'm going to take a new mortgage out once it's looking all good and everything, and that new mortgage is going to cost me about 100. Now there isn't any bills like in this one, because this is just, you know, a buy to let, and someone's going to rent this, so they pay their own council tax and their own bills and everything. Yeah, so there is no other costs here. So the cash flow is going to equal £500 per month, which gives me, you know, £6,000 a year. Now, very conservatively, this property is valued at £80,000, even though there was another one that sold for 113. Right, so but like 75%, the bank is now going to lend me on the new valuation of 80, which is £60,000, which means if I take the 35 away from the 60, I am then paid £25,000 to now own a property that's going to pay me £6,000 a year. So look, by doing these 2 deals in the first year or your first year, absolutely possible. You know, when I started, I had 7 deals in the first year, built a portfolio of over 4.5 million using 0 of my own money. And well, if you look at all of this together, I mean, what is this? This is about 135k, right? So I'm going to get paid 135k in my first year, which is these cash monies here. And then I'm continuously going to get paid 22,000 a year. Now, the average wage is probably between, like for especially for the younger generation, is about 22k. So here, 22k average wage, you can get that on an ongoing basis while you go and do what you love. And working for money, by the way, is okay, but I would suggest you work for money doing what it is that you love. Yeah, and then you get paid based on the value you're providing, because you're providing value, by the way. Value, great accommodation, amenities, people who are wanting to move around, or they want to live in a place like this, or they want to live in a place like this, or maybe it's their stopgap before they go on to do something different. And that value you add there, you make money with your value without your labor. And plus, you got paid to do it anyway. And that's why most people wouldn't start, because they think, I can't give up my job, or I don't have the time, I don't have the experience, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the connections. You can definitely do it yourself. If you want to know more about money and debt, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, hit the share button, put your comments in, any questions that you would like to see around this, and I'll do some extra videos.